Cool. Guys, we're going to jump back onto ADA briefly, and then we're going to move on here because we have some other fundamentals that we need to look at. Cardano right now is in a very interesting position. It's in a similar position that Bitcoin is in. I'm on the chart right now. And over on Bitcoin, we're setting lower highs. We do have a high up here at $50,500 and then some highs up here at $49,500. But over on Cardano, we're not seeing that. Instead, we see a top up here on the 24th or 23rd back here at $2.94. You guys remember that? We covered that. And also again here on the 27th. So yes, we're on a double top here on Cardano. But the thing that you need to pay attention to is that Cardano is actually just like Bitcoin in an ascending triangle pattern. You can see that this flat level of resistance is even more pronounced on ADA, and there is an uptrending level of support that Cardano is respecting. So the likelihood here is that Cardano could pull back as far as $2.64 based on this uptrend, or if you follow this uptrend right here, you would probably argue that it's already hit its bottom. Either way, Cardano looks very healthy right now, and every argument I just made about Bitcoin breaking to the upside can be made on Cardano, except an even stronger argument because Cardano is in an even more bullish pattern than Bitcoin is, and it is set up even better than Bitcoin is as well. Looking at Lux Algo here, we can see that Lux Algo almost perfectly called this top and then almost perfectly called the buy-in opportunity down here, but it is still on the buy signal on the 4-hourly chart, and I think that's a good signal to follow. We're still on buy signal here on the daily chart as well. Taking a look at the volume, just like Bitcoin, the volume's declining, which is a good sign because once we start to break to the upside, that volume will likely come back in a major way, and once it does, it is going to be a very powerful movement that we're going to see come from Cardano. Bullish or bearish is going to be powerful. It's more than likely going to be to the upside. If we look at our MACD here, we are currently about to see a bearish cross. So what gives? If we're bullish, why is the MACD about to cross bearish? What do you think, Tim?
Which chart?
On the ADA daily chart. We're talking about a bullish cross, and we're literally about to see a bearish MACD cross tomorrow.
All right, so what I was going to say, I do not do this often. I was looking at the ADA over Bitcoin chart.
Cool.
It is an ascending wedge that looks like it is potentially about to break.
So
is this massively bullish signs for Bitcoin, just meaning because both could keep going up even though the ADA over Bitcoin breaks bearish? It would just mean Bitcoin explodes while Cardano more stays still or just barely goes up. Or does this just mean Bitcoin kind of holds tight and Cardano goes down? That is the question. But we've been in a very long,
I'm showing it right now. Yeah, we can see it.
Bullish momentum over Bitcoin since the 10th of August with very few days not being bullish.
Yep.
However, it does look like that almost a month-long growth is coming to a decline. It's gonna change. I don't necessarily know if this wedge is gonna mean that it's gonna go right back down to the levels it was at on the ADA over Bitcoin. However, I do think that craziness that you can take profitability in Cardano over other cryptos probably is coming to an end. It's coming back down to earth. It'll be like one of the others. But again, the good news is and maybe that's just a bullish sign that Bitcoin is about to explode and Cardano is just going to take a minute to just kind of relax.
Mr. Fox is not very excited about Cardano. Guys, last week we talked about how Cardano was, I'm going to put him right here while I'm talking just to remind you that it's not bullish. Last week we talked about how Cardano is not going to be able to sustain this rally over Bitcoin. That's why I introduced it the way I did. I showed you the bullish technicals and I said, wait a second, MACD is calling bearish. Whenever you're doing your technical analysis, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to both sides because on a cursory level, looking at Cardano over the United States dollar, it looks like it's going to break bullish. It's in an ascending triangle pattern. The volume's decreasing. It looks like it's going to have a big breakout. However, the MACD is crossing bearish, and as Tim so astutely pointed out, we're in a massive rising wedge on ADA over Bitcoin. Now, I don't do the majority of my technical analysis on altcoin over Bitcoin comparatives, but in this case, when we're looking at Ethereum and ADA and everything, we need to be looking at both of them. I do my primary technical analysis on the USD chart for the top 10 coins, use the Bitcoin chart for everything else more than likely. Pay attention to where all the trading volume is. Most of the trading volume is on a US dollar pair for the top 10 altcoins. But nevertheless, ADA has a massive rising wedge. And just like we talked about last week, it's gotten hugely overextended compared to Bitcoin. If we look here on our chart, I'm going to have to move Mr. Fox here. He's in the way of my charting. If we look at this, Cardano rallied from the 10th of August from 3,200 sats all the way up to 5,800 sats. That means that Cardano has rallied 87% comparative to Bitcoin, while Bitcoin has at the same time rallied 77%. It's overextended. It's what we said last week. Cardano was going to go to probably $3 and went to $2.94. it was probably going to have a correction. It's sitting at 277. It pulled all the way down to 245, exactly where we said it was going to. I don't mean to pat myself on the back too much here, guys, but we literally drew these two chart lines, these two horizontal lines right here at $2.46 and $2.50, and we said back over here, Cardano is going to this level, and that's exactly what it did. Now we're in this pattern, this triangle pattern. The question on the table is, will we be able to continue this rally on Cardano or not? I don't think so. I think that Cardano is going to probably stay above $2.45 and $2.50. It could go below that. I think I'd be surprised, but I'd be much more surprised to see Cardano breaking $3 this week. If it does, I will tell you I was wrong. If it does, it's going to be because of the hashtag AdaGang, which I love. I'm part of hashtag AdaGang. Drop it in chat. It's going to be because of people being excited for Alonzo, but technically speaking, Cardano is overextended and it needs a correction. And by the way, if it rallies above $3 and starts heading to 4 or 5, it's going to be very bad for the Cardano market. So I hope I am right that it is not going to go into a massive rally, because if it does, it's going to get massively overextended and the crash is going to be even harder and the pain is going to be even more severe. So I think Bitcoin is going to go into a big rally this week, but I'm not as bullish on Cardano, despite what some of the technicals are saying, because we have to take into account all of the available data.